Culbert. I'm a teaching artist for Meadow Arts, a nonprofit arts organization in Twisp. Today we will be making window hearts, inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was a Baptist minister and social activist who led the civil rights movement during the 1950s and 60s. There is a lot to learn about Dr. King, so we won't be able to cover much of it in this short art video. But we can be inspired by his ideas to create change for the future. Dr. King worked to end racism. Racism means that our government and society are set up to make things much easier and better for people with white skin, like me, than for Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color. This system is not fair and has brought about and was founded on pain, violence, and injustice. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., along with other leaders and just regular people, made a lot of progress during the civil rights movement. However, there is still a lot of work to be done to end racism. There are lots of problems in our world, but people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. are able to dream of a better future and make changes happen. What would you dream of if you could change something in this world? To make our window hearts today, you will need a piece of paper, a pair of scissors, a pencil, something to color with, like crayons or markers, and some tape. Preferably this kind of clear tape or masking tape would work. Great, so to start with, we're going to draw a nice big heart on our page. So kind of make it fill up your whole page. And some of you, I'm sure, are experts at drawing hearts, but for those of you who aren't, what you want to do is you want to draw kind of a curve, and then the curve goes down into a point. So kind of this partial teardrop shape, and then just do the exact same thing on the other side. So start at your point here, go up and down and in and meet up with your other side. So something like that. And yours can look a little different from mine. That's totally fine. Great. Now we're going to cut out our heart. And a really good technique when you're cutting into a V like this is to come from this side, like I just did, and then turn your paper and come in from the other side to get right down into that V. Great, so now we need to brainstorm some ideas of what we would change if we could change something in the world. So think about the world how it is, and then think about what would you change to make the world a better place. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was dreaming and envisioning of ways that the world could be a better place for people. So what would you change if you could change something in the world? And you could think about maybe you'd change something with the environment to help animals that are endangered, or maybe you would change something with people so that everyone had equal opportunities, or maybe there'd be more arts instruction in schools. So you can think of, there might be lots of different things that you would change in the world, and just pick one thing that seems really important to you. Great, so now that you have your idea, you're going to draw what would your changed world look like in your heart. So if you're going to change the world so that there's no more endangered animals and they've all come back in a lot of numbers, you might draw a bunch of animals all over your heart. Or if you would plant more trees, maybe you'll draw a bunch of trees. So go ahead and take a few minutes now and draw what would your changed world look like. So here I drew trees and a sun and hills and water, because if I would change something in the world, I would change global warming, and I would help restore our planet to a healthy, happy planet. So now we're going to find a window to put this where other people can see it. So Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't keep quiet about what he wanted to change. He made speeches and he wrote books and he did lots of things that shared his mission for what he thought should change. So our way of sharing our mission for what we would like to change will be to share our drawings with people and in a place where they can see it. So this might be a window in your house that looks out, or maybe it's a window in your car where you could paste it and people will see it as you drive by. So I'm going to go find a window now where people will see my drawing for change, my window heart. So here I found a nice window where people walking by will be able to see my window heart and what I want to change in the world. So I'm going to take my drawing and take the front side of it, so the part with the image, and I'm going to put it against the window so people on the outside can see it. And then I'll just take a little piece of tape and tape it to the window so people walking by can see it. So if you have a good spot in your house to do this or in your car, this way you can share your vision for change with other people in the world. So thanks for joining me today and helping think of a better future and what changes we could make in our world. If you'd like to learn more about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Civil Rights Movement, or racism, there's lots of great books at your local library. You can ask a parent or a teacher or the librarian for help finding them. So thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.